Hi, welcome to the Wandering Stitches Knitting Podcast. My name is Jess, and I'd like to welcome you to my little corner of YouTube. This is where I combine my love of hiking and share my crafty wandering adventures with you. If this is your first time checking out this channel, I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you enjoy the content and stick around. Feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. And for those of you who are returning, I thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I hope you've had a great week. And please let me know what you're working on and what you've been up to this week. And so let's get started. So grab something to work on, sit and relax, take a break. I hope to just keep you company while you do whatever it is that you're doing, and whether it's cooking your meals, just sitting and relaxing, or working on your crafty projects. I hope to keep you company while I share a little update with how my week went with my yarn and my hikes. So this week was a celebration of my 18th wedding anniversary with Todd, my husband. And so we, as you can imagine, went on a hike. We love hiking, and we revisited a place that we had hiked a long time ago, even before we got married. And it is on the border of New Hampshire and Maine. It's in the Chatham area, and it is the, it's the Bald Face Mountain. There's the north and south. It creates a loop, which I think the whole thing is probably 10 miles. The All Trails lists it as, I think, 9.7 miles for the entire loop. We just did a short little version of the hike. All Trails lists the hike to Emerald Pools as easy. It's 0.7 miles from the parking lot. It is relatively flat, and the trail is pretty well marked and cleared, and that you only really have to just watch out for roots. And there's not a lot of ledge or rock that you have to scramble over. So the Emerald Pools is along a river, and I will have to look up the river and insert that here. And typically when the water is not running as rapidly as it is right now, the pools look like they're emerald. And I'm not sure if it's because of the rocks or if it's the moss on the rocks in the riverbed that is giving it this appearance, but when the water flow is slower, it's really beautiful. And the first time that I went a couple of years ago, you're able to jump off of a rock, which is, I don't know, it's probably a 10-foot drop into the pool, and it's a nice, refreshing, cold plunge. I don't think anybody jumped in this time, but as you can imagine, I love waterfalls, so I got some pretty decent footage of the waterfalls, and I also got some footage of our trail hike going up to the South Baldface shelter area. Up there, it is a little bit below the peak, or the summit, I should say. There is a teepee. There's a lean-to. There's a lean-to up there that you can camp in. You can even have a little campfire. It is maintained by the AMC, the Appalachian Mountain Club. So thank you, AMC, and the U.S. Forest Service for maintaining these trails and allowing us to enjoy the great outdoors. So the hike up was probably considered moderate, and we encountered some people who were going up to spend overnight up there, and when we got up there, there was already somebody set up in the lean-to with their tent. So as you can imagine, it's kind of first come, first serve, and everybody just is sort of friendly enough to share the lean-to. But we were not planning on spending the night, although we did make future plans in our mind to go up there with our stuff, sleeping bag, tent, that's whatnot, to do the hike. And what the guys were doing that were hiking up there and spending the night, they were going to leave their stuff there and then do the loop, the 10-mile loop, and then come down and grab their stuff and then be done with it. So there's that option. And looking at all trails, you can see that there is a whole trail system of other peaks that you can go to. And it is part of the White Mountains, and it's a beautiful forest area, and there's a variation of vegetation, and as you can probably gather, there's waterfalls and rocks and boulders, and I tend to favor the trails that have the waterfalls. And if you are a returning viewer, then you are probably used to seeing the hikes that have footage with waterfalls. And I hope that is still enjoyable to you. It's enjoyable to me, no matter how many times I see it, even in person. So I hope you enjoy this footage that I have put together for you. And yeah, once again, it is the Bald-Faced Mountain, and it is listed on all trails. It's a free app, and you can look that up, and yeah, or you can just ask me any questions. I'd be happy to answer the best of my ability. So on to the knitting, because of course I brought my knitting up the trail, and this is what I have been working on. I had mentioned this previously. This is the Gallus scarf by Amy Palco, and this is her debut design. She is a podcaster over on The Meaningful Stitch, and I will link her podcast in the description below. So it is a series of short row shaping in garter stitch, and there is no picking up stitches, there is no seaming. It is all done, you know, it's there's not intarsia. So it is color blocked. There's 5 colors in the pattern, and she gives you the freedom to do it however you want, with however many colors you want. But she wrote the pattern with 5 color blocks. She has done multiple versions in her podcast, and she shows them throughout previous episodes of the projects that she's come up with different colors, weights, textures, and they're all very inspiring. And so I thought it would be a great project to showcase my naturally dyed yarns, which I was able to cake up. And I will, so this was the Madder Root. This is what I had that was the first triangle, and this is currently what I am doing right now. And this is the yarn that I had dyed with the birch bark, and this is the cochineal, and this is another birch bark, and this is with the goldenrod, and this was dyed with goldenrod and then dipped in the water with iron to modify the color. And so I am going to showcase the yarn with this scarf. And starts off with a triangle, and then this is worked to create a parallelogram. And so it's, let's see, the 2 ends of the scarf are going to be triangles, and then sandwiched in between the parallelograms. And so each parallelogram can be a different color. I will mention that if you do decide to knit this, I will tell this to you as a precaution, as a cautionary tale, to make sure that you know which is the right side, because as you can see, both sides look like they are the same, but it does matter which side is the right side, because if you do what I did, which I started adding on the second color on the wrong side, it creates, if you can see, the garter rows are nicely aligned and parallel. And if you start the new color on the wrong side, they will create a V. And so I ended up having to frog this area, ripping it all back and starting over, but it didn't take me long to regain the ground that I had lost. And it is a quick, addictive knit, and this has been my companion when I'm watching TV, when I'm traveling. I will bring it with me to my social knitting gatherings, and I have it next to me while I'm driving. And lately, Maine has been doing a lot of construction on one of the routes that I am commuting on, and sometimes I'm stuck there for 15-20 minutes, so it's nice to kick out a couple rows of that while I'm waiting for traffic to move along. And the other thing that I'm working on is the deep winter coat. I am knitting this in with Lion's Brand Woolies held double, and I am making this for a friend, and that is kind of like the pattern is by Wool and Pine. It is a pattern that, even though there's multiple charts, it is broken down into very simple segments, and the pattern is easy to follow. And I highly recommend it if you want to do some color work and you are looking for just a super comfy, cozy cardigan to have in the winter time. This is my second one, so I love it. And those are the two projects that I am working on. And I have good news. I finished up my 2023 Maine Yarn Cruise. So I handed in my passport, all stamped up and completed at the last stop, which I had saved for last, at the Knitwit yarn shop in Portland. And so I got some footage of the yarn shop. I got some footage of them stamping it. I got, let's see, some oohs and ahs. Roxanne and Allie were in there. So thank you for making the end of my yarn cruise fun. They were oohing and ahhing over my knitting journal. And so I think I'm going to do some footage. I have some updated projects that I need to complete in my knitting journal, and I think I will take you along and we can finish that up. I will credit It's a Sarah for giving me the inspiration to creating this knitting journal. And I had been kind of wanting to memorialize my knitting projects, more so than just Ravelry and Instagram. I really wanted a book that I could touch and just kind of flip the pages. And I didn't really want to necessarily do something with Shutterfly or any of the chapbooks and just recreate photographs, but I saw Sarah's knitting journal and I thought, wow, that's really what I want to do. So I went out and just got a blank journal and did kind of a scrapbook. And I'm not a scrapbooker, so this is my first scrapbook. And I just went and got some stickers, some washi tape. When I first went in there, I was like, do you have any wasabi tape? And she's like, what? Nope. But sure enough, I asked my daughter, and she's like, she told me what it was, washi tape. And I was able to actually find some at where did I find it? I think it was at Walmart. So I did that, and we'll work together on some projects. I'll show you the footage of my hike and the yarn shop. And that was my week. And I hope that you had a great week, and I hope that you are doing all the things that you love. I hope that I am inspiring you to get outside and to continue on with your inspiration and creative process. And I will say goodbye for now. Keep doing what you love. Was there an actual toilet?
Mm-hmm. There's that house. You can have fires here.
Mm-hmm.
Want to come spend the night up here sometime?
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you.
And I will take that from you. All your information is on it, right?
Hello and welcome to my knitting journal. So this segment is going to be an unedited segment, and I am using my dining room table as the place of work. So I have my family here, so I apologize for any loud noises that you may hear. I did ask them to be quiet, but as any household with teenagers, it's always unpredictable, and with animals. So here is my knitting journal. These are just some stickers that I have accumulated. I picked this book up at Sherman's, which is just a blank notebook for artists. The pages are perforated, and I like this because it's got like a flexible binding. And so this is one of the projects that is that needs to be completed. This is The Lost Tank by Friday Knits, and this is for my niece Kaylin, and I printed out a photo. Here is the yarn, and I am going to just put a piece of tape over this, and I have already put the price of the yarn. I put when I started, which was July 29th, and I finished it September 25th, and I just I'm going to attach the...
What's that?
Nothing.
I'm gonna work on the fire.
Okay, I'll be out in a minute. The yarn tag there. So there's the yarn tag. Here's the washing instructions. I put the needle size US 3. I had put how many skeins I had bought in there, and so I have like a general price. So I will put the and while you're looking at this, I can hear my tea water is about to go off. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just cut some tape and tack down this and I have a couple stickers over here that I will add to it. So nothing too crazy, and I don't have this planned, and it is just one of those things that I just like to go with the flow. And let's see, throw a flower. So I picked these up at I don't really need the UPC anymore, and I think I'll just put a clear piece of tape down here on the edge. Sorry about that. So there, now I have the washing instructions. And I just kind of go through and add stickers here and there for pizzazz. So I think this blank page is going to be to commemorate my podcast. So I'll probably print off the thumbnails and just put a little date as to when I started and just a little recognition of that. And here is the Maine Yarn Cruise with the yarns, and this is the picture that I had brought in, and most of the yarns. So here's one that I needed to finish, so I'm going to put some stickers here, and we'll just do this. Tack it down. There. And so this is the hothead hat that I had made, and this is going to go to a person by the name of Hudson. And I know I have mentioned in previous episodes that I am not typically one to just knit things for people, but this I am going to break my own rule and I knit this for Hudson. Hudson is a teen in a program that I am a part of with my family. We go down to New Jersey and participate in a wilderness like acclimation program where the families will go. Sometimes it's families who have never camped at all, and it's just a way of, as a group, getting used to being outdoors, camping, and getting the kids to develop some awareness of plants, trees, animals, their surroundings, and to just kind of just be comfortable. So next time we meet, which is in the end of the month, it's Hudson's birthday, so I thought I'd make them a hat, and we'll see. I don't know if it's gonna end up going to a shelter, but I figured, well, I guess it's just the thought that counts. And when I found out that it was their birthday, the next time we meet, I immediately thought of this hat. So here it is. And when I think of Hudson, I think of camping. So we'll just put that there. Okay, so that is done. And as you can see, I put the start and the finish, and it literally took me 4 hours to knit. And I used the size 10.5, so I wrote that down. And I just made a little notation as to just the story, if there was one. I am now going to move on to the Friday Shrug, and that was part of the Scottish Shrug Club cow, and I got this yarn in Scotland. I talked about this pretty extensively in a prior episode. I am going to just tape the tag down. This is the tag of the yarn, and here is the yarn itself, so I'll just attach that. I used an 8 needle. I used the yarn here, and then this little mohair is the Hobby Kid Silk yarn. So what else? I got some pictures of where I got it on the Croft, so I can add some stickers here just to attach it, and kind of make it fun. There. Let's add a little butterfly. There. And let's see, I'll add in a picture of my daughter at the, I'm going to probably pronounce it wrong, the Cullen. I believe that this is a pretty vast mountain range in Scotland, in the Highlands, that draws a lot of geological exploration, and they found that this was a good place to study how volcanoes are formed, and it also draws rock climbers, all sorts of climbers. So I will put that there, and how about another sticker there. And my daughter and I went on this trip, and here is another photo of the actual shrug that I will put there. And as you can see, I don't really put, other than just adding stickers here and there, but it makes it fun. I love this process. I just try not to think about it too much as far as analyzing what goes where or what. And let's see, I think I cut out a little picture of the lammies. Let's see here. Sorry, trying to make this clear for you. Anyways, I know what it is. It is basically Carbos Lock. That's where we were staying, and in the neighborhood there was a little farm with lammies. And this was the sunrise of the last day that we were there, so this will really just take me back along with the project itself, and it's such a good time. So that gets me all caught up, and that is pretty much it. Maybe I'll add another sticker to, let's see, how about some, I know I saw some sheep here somewhere. Woolly Awesome. Put that right here. Woolly Awesome. Everything is Woolly Awesome. So, let's just go back. There's this. Let's see. And sometimes it's not so artistic. This is the Deep Winter Coat page, and I'm hoping I can save this for some pictures. And this is just basically me jotting down where I'm at as far as what row I'm on, and because there's, like, you know, as I say, there's a couple charts. So this is what I was wearing. I am, in the earlier segment, I am wearing the Pousse Cafe by Baby Cocktails, Thea Coleman. It took me about a month to make. I used Good Karma Yarn Goose Spruce with the Hobby Friends Kid Silk in Midnight Blue, and the little detail along the waist was with just some scrap gray yarn, and I knit size 42, and I used the US 9, and I wrote down some other notes, US 7 for the armholes and the ribbing, and yeah, so then I also like to include the cost of it. This project was a project for my daughter. Alex wanted a hat in green, so that is kind of what I made, a slouchy hat for her. And again, just some notations as to when, how long, what yarn, what needles, if there was a yarny tail. I include that just to give the project a story, and I wrote what any feedback regarding the pattern or my own experience. And my own experience was that I made it too stretchy. And this is my version of the Deep Winter Coat by Wool and Pine. This is my finished project, and as you can see, lots of notes, and the yarn and the yarn tag and just the washing instructions. And this was my first project to go into this book for 2023, and this is a swatch that I had made for the sweater for my dad. And I made this in March of this year, and this was the first time he had asked for anything knitted. So I started back in November, wanted to make it for him for Christmas, but I didn't end up giving it to him until March. So yeah, it took longer than I had thought. I thought just, oh, it's a vest, it won't take very long, but no. So that's it, and let's see, some more stickers and a picture of me and a little knitting cat. And I had learned about a Waldorf handwork verse, so from Sarah from It's a Sarah podcast, the secrets that my whole hands hold are treasures for the might and bold. I thank my hands, heart, and mind for teaching me to do my handwork just fine. May our hands complete our work with patience. May our work be done with care. May our fingers work as friends together, and may we our friendship share. Waldorf handwork verse. So I thought that was really cool, and so I put that in the book, and this is my knitting journal. Well, thanks if you hung out with me till the very end. I super appreciate it for hanging in there, and I hope this was enjoyable for you. And leave any comments, and certainly let me know what your process is for your knitting journals, and how you organize your projects, if not, and you know, like I keep my stuff organized in Ravelry, but I also like to have just sort of the tactile creative process behind all of this. So there it is. Thank you.